Well, Nathan, no surprises really that we're having a chat with you ahead of this one, a game I'm sure that as soon as you arrived here you were looking to see where the two Portsmouth fixtures would lie.
Of course. For me, I thought, especially back end of the season, it would be a challenge for the top six. Both teams had those aspirations at the start of the season, so I knew that come this time of the year it would be a massive game for both clubs, and one I've looked forward to for a long time. But at the same time, we go into it the same mindset that any other game. Naturally, it is a big game. There'll be a big crowd and a good atmosphere, but it's exactly the same sort of prep for us.
And I'm sure you've still got plenty of mates there. Have you been texting back and forth at all?
Not really. I think the last chat I was having was with one of the boys. We're still doing our UEFA B licence, so it was that sort of, and it's nothing in terms of an upcoming game. Especially, I'll catch up with them after the match in particular, but no, nothing prior to it at the moment.
How was it when you went back to Fratton Park in the autumn?
Yeah, it was what I was expected. It's a big crowd, and naturally they try and get in your head. And I think I'm old enough and wise enough now to expect that and not allow it to affect my game. It was a good result for us. I think both teams at the time were happy with the result. Pretty even game, and they'll come on Saturday looking to keep their run going. They're on a really good run at the moment in time, and it's important that we get back to winning ways.
Yeah, it's a strange badge of honour really, isn't it, when you get that attention from a previous crowd?
Yeah, of course. I think it was a mixed reception as well. I think you got some fans that they were clapping away and had pleasant things to say, and then naturally you get those that not so pleasant things. But as I say, I'm experienced enough and wise enough to get on with it and not let that water for ducks back in that sense.
In terms of the tactics and how they go about things, are Portsmouth much the same from when you were there last season? Do you feel like you have a bit of the inside line?
Possibly. I'm not sure it's an inside line. The manager will see the way they play, and he prepares every game to the T. He knows exactly what teams are doing. So, yeah, Portsmouth are quite open and honest about how they get the ball forward quickly, get lots of crosses into the box, and they've got quality players in wide areas that are able to deliver quality. And then you've got likes of Ellis Harrison, Ollie Hawkins and John Marcus up front that are able to stick the ball in the back of the net. So, it'll be a tough game for us, and one that I'm certainly looking forward to.
Yeah, pre-season ended up being a bit truncated for you, and I think, well, naturally enough, it's then taken you a little while to get up to full speed. But since the start of the really good run that Posh had with the wins on the bounce, I think, and I don't know whether you feel this as well, but really starting to see what you're all about?
Yeah, I think so. Personally, it was tough this summer in particular, and then coming into a new team when you've been doing your own fitness, there's nothing like playing games. So it did take me a little while, and then I had the setbacks with the injuries, and it was probably until Christmas, I'd say, was really sort of difficult start, and it's not what you want when you come into a new club. You want to make a good first impression. But since I've been back in, touch wood, the injuries have felt fine, and yeah, I've been able to showcase when you've got a little bit of fitness and you're able to showcase what you're about on a week-to-week basis. It's been much better and plain sailing for me. Sense.
And you're such a versatile player as well, but in the back three you seem to really enjoy it because I suppose you get to do a bit of everything really. Yeah,
I think my qualities lie in the more sort of defending aspect of the game. I like to think I'm a steady one-on-one defender, and the position I play in that back three, it's something that I played a lot when I was at Swindon, especially more so than I did at Portsmouth anyway. But it's probably gives me more of a licence to defend rather than the attacking side of the game. And you've got someone like a Joe Ward that's a winning runner that's putting the hard yards alongside you, and then the experience of Beebs as well. Yeah, it's a perfect sort of platform for me in that sense.
Yeah, and you seem to bring a bit of guile to the defence. Don't take this the wrong way, but in terms of winning free kicks at the right times and just controlling things and the pace of play at the back, that seems to be something that you like.
Yeah, I think it's that game management, and that's possibly what comes with a bit of experience. In times where you need to slow the game down, it can get a little bit sort of basketball-esque in that it's end-to-end, and if you don't take the sting out of the game, it can come a little bit sort of messy in that sense. So yeah, you have to learn to buy fouls and those sort of opposing fans they get slightly frustrated. I know certainly when we did it at Portsmouth, they were all sort of buzzing off it last year. They're not so much this year, but it's part and parcel of the game. So you have to expect that.
Yeah, and clearly the downside of this season that the first half didn't so much work out for you. But the plus side, presumably you're feeling really fresh at this stage and just eager to drive on with the remaining games.
Without a doubt, you're going into the last 10 games of the season. It's huge, and I think it's something that I've said for a little while, in that we've got our sort of games on the board quite quickly, and we've got 3 weeks now for the rest of the season, whereas there are teams that are Portsmouth, for example, a classic example, playing Friday, Monday, Saturday. It's a lot of games, and when every game is so important come the end of the season, it takes a toll on your body. So yeah, me, and you look around the team, the likes of Josh Knight coming back in, Reece Brown as well, boys that have maybe not played as much as they wanted to over the last couple of months, but fresh legs at this time of the season is critical. So the same when you look at Dems up front as well, maybe not played the front half of the season as much, but you're seeing and you're reaping the rewards now.
And this weekend, maybe a good time for a cheeky goal?
Yeah, this is what I've been saying to the lads. I only time it for when it's really important. I think when I was at Portsmouth, it was the Checker Trade final. So we've got to just buy the time, and hopefully it would be nice to score and ultimately get us back to winning ways, that's for sure.